And hello, everybody. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, we're going to go through a session of EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. So this we're going to do a lot of that. I'll give you a quick rundown of how it works for this hour, and then we'll jump right into it. If you are here for the first time, welcome. We're so happy to have you. If you're not here for the first time, welcome back. I'm thrilled that you're here too. Let's see. What we do here on this channel is called clinical EFT. There is a difference. Mainly the difference being clinical EFT has been put through many clinical scientific channels with published resourced outcomes, so that there's a certain standardization of the techniques that we teach and a certain expectation of outcome just because it's happened thousands of times predictably. So there's a lot of comfort in that when you're approaching something like what EFT helps for, which is overwhelm, trauma, phobias, fears, big blocks in life that are really hard to approach otherwise. The way that it works is really fascinating, but I'm not going to go into that because the point is for you to experience it today. However, if you have questions, you can always email me. I'll give my email in a bit. We also have a channel here on YouTube. It is EFT Universe. Hundreds of videos on that channel to explain a lot about clinical EFT. So you can always go check that out as well. As far as participating today, if you don't know what to do, don't worry, you can follow along with me. I, however, keep myself as boring as possible. In EFT, we have a certain number of acupoints that we tap. There are the basic tapping points, and there's a few additional points that we might use. I keep it as simple as possible here because what I would rather happen is you tap on the spots that you feel are working for you today. So maybe you're having some pain in some joints. Maybe you wear glasses, and so these points are just more difficult to access for you. Then maybe you know other points that are really beneficial for you, like the sore points or the fingertips. I want you to do that at whatever pace you feel is appropriate. So following along with me, do that if you feel lost. Otherwise, please follow along with whatever you're feeling. I'm here to help you feel empowered within this set of techniques. I typically stay here or here. We'll sometimes go through all of the points, but not very often, just so that you're aware. In a regular one-on-one session, that would be different, but this is not that. So this is the regular way we do it here. If you want to participate today, there's a few ways that you can do that. The first is simply by being here, just following along. You only need that as far as to experience EFT and how beneficial it can be. If you would like to be a little bit more interactive, I do have a live chat that runs the entire session. I do check it periodically, and I include all the suggestions that I can into the session today. If we don't get to your specific suggestion, I will offer you ideas of how you can make it a little bit more unique to yourself and adjust it as we go along. And that'll make sense when we do it, if it doesn't yet. You can also email me if putting your thing that you want to tap about out on the internet is just too vulnerable for you. No worries. Email me and I'll bring it up anonymously next week. My email is fable, F-A-B-L-E, at EFTuniverse.com. Now, I don't have any emails to pass along for our group tap today. So we'll jump right into whatever suggestions you have that you would like to offer up into the chat. Never any pressure for that. I always have plenty in my arsenal that I can bring out that are applicable that we can tap on. But I'm going to say hi really fast, then we'll do a quick grounding to just get a little bit more present, and we'll go right into the tapping session. Hello, Paula. Happy to see you here. Hi, Tanya. Oh, hello, lovely Tanya. Oh, and hello to Izzy. I'm glad that you're both here. Hi, Mallory. I'm happy that you're here too. Hello, Brenda. Yes, I'm so happy that you're here live as well. So happy to see all of your names. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump into getting grounded. I want to try something that we haven't done on here before. So let me know how it works for you. We're going to add a little bit of physical movement more than just breathing and visualization into it. This is really helpful if you're having a hard time focusing on getting grounded, like if you're just really overwhelmed and really dissociated, or if you have an issue with visualizing, if picturing things in your head is just difficult. This is an alternate way that you can get grounded. Okay, let's do it. Go ahead and take a breath, whatever depth feels comfortable to you. And let that out. And just sit for a moment. And breathe normal. And just allow your eyes to kind of bounce around wherever they do in your space. Let's go ahead and take another breath. Go ahead and breathe in. And out. And again, just allow your body to sit and naturally move whatever feels good to you right now. And as you're sitting here, let's go ahead and start to just softly move your fingers. In whatever way feels good to you, just wiggle them back and forth. And as you're wiggling them, invite you, yourself, your spirit, your soul, your consciousness to be present in your fingers. And just feel that your consciousness filling up your hands. Then go ahead and take a look at your arm, from your shoulder to your wrist. And if you can't look at your whole arm, that's okay. You know where it is. Just look at as much of it as you can. And go ahead and start moving your arms. You don't have to focus on moving your hands anymore. Just focus on your arms. And it could be just a simple rotation. You're looking at both sides. It could be maybe you stretch, something that feels good. If your body says, oh yeah, arms, let's maybe give those joints a little bit of movement. Whatever feels good. And just as you look at your arms, invite your consciousness to fill up that space. The space, this whole big space that these arms are. Okay, now let's jump down to the feet. Where are your feet? My feet are kind of tucked under me. And as you examine your feet, go ahead and just wiggle them a little bit. Wiggle your toes. Maybe flex your arches. You can flex them up towards your leg, point them out away from your body. Doesn't have to be big movements, just wiggling, acknowledging their presence. And as you wiggle them, invite your consciousness to fill up that whole space. All of those little wiggly toes, the bottom of your feet, and feel that presence really starting to hold a density there. All through your feet. And now let's notice our legs. From your hips all the way down to your ankles. Go ahead and give those a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a squeeze. You can flex your calves, flex your thighs a little bit, maybe move them. And as you give a little bit of movement to your legs, invite your consciousness to fill up this space. This is a big space. Legs are a big part of the body. So you could see that kind of trickling in. Maybe it's going to take a little bit of time for those to fill up. Maybe it rushes in really fast. Maybe you notice, wow, I've got a strong presence in my legs. I'm already pretty present here. And just feel your consciousness really filling up this space. And now let's look at our bellies. Our bellies, our chest. And we can't really look at our back. So just think about your back. You know it's back there. You can touch it if you want to. And all the way up that spine to the shoulders. So this whole middle section here. The trunk of the body, the midsection of the body, whatever words you have for it. Go ahead and flex those muscles. Is it there? Are you sure? Can you feel it? You flex your shoulder blades back and up. Can you feel them touch? What about upwards? What about downwards? Can you push your belly out? Make it big and round. Or can you suck it in? Just really flex those abdominal muscles. You sit up straight and feel those long muscles all along the spine. Or curve forward. Maybe you feel them stretch a little bit. And if it's comfortable, you could twist side to side a little bit. No forcing, just flexing. And notice how present you are in your core, in this central area of your body. Go ahead and invite your consciousness to really fill up this space, to really be present here. And there's a lot of places to be present here. We've got all kinds of organs, we've got bones, we've got tissues. Or you could just imagine yourself as being this empty shell, just this container, and your presence is just filling up that container. Let's go ahead and take a breath here. And finally, let's focus on our neck and up into our head, our face, which includes our ears, even our hair, if you've got hair. Our consciousness can be in our hair as well. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, all of these little muscles that make up so much of our expression. All of these little things. Go ahead and give it some gentle movement. Maybe just a side to side of your head. Feel those muscles shifting in your neck. Notice how they move as you move your neck. And your face. And you feel your face move. Wiggle your mouth around. Smile or frown. And just notice, how present am I in my head? What space is there that I could fill? And just invite your consciousness to really fill the space in all of these muscles and all of this area. Feel that presence in your ears, all the way up to the very crown of your head. And let's take another breath here. And now just consider for a moment your whole body and notice the density, the presence that you now have in all of these places. Good job. Alrighty, I'm going to go back to the chat and we will get to tapping. Hello, Hira. Okay, can you include shame, like being worthless, unwanted, inferior? Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that's very relatable. Whether it's something that's pervasive, meaning you just feel like that's just a part of who I am. I was just born worthless and everybody else has worth, but I have no value. Or if it's something that's more situational, like losing a spouse or losing a job or moving to a different area and feeling really isolated and lonely, losing a friendship even, when feeling like, wow, I was really not valued in that space. And that can be painful. So there's a lot that can go into that in an array of places. So thank you for bringing that up. I think that's something that a lot of people experience. Hello, Nancy. Yes, thank you, Mallory. Suggestion for grief and loss. And Brenda, could we perhaps please tap on insomnia, which is being worsened by trying to adjust to a CPAP machine? Absolutely. And that's so common. I used to work in a sleep lab. So there's absolutely an adjustment period, which is miserable, especially when it's supposed to be helping you sleep, when likely you already had poor sleep, which is why you wanted or needed the CPAP in the first place. So thank you for that suggestion. And Paula, could we please tap about creating a shield of safety in front of the people and situations that I still have to face because I have no other choice at the moment? Yes, I really appreciate that. I like that. And there's so many different shields that we can create, even from our own thoughts, right? Because sometimes we have habits of things where we're really not nice to ourselves, that we say things to ourselves that we would never say to another person. So yeah, thank you for that. And Serena, I'm bad and wrong. Nothing I do is ever right. And other negative messages. That's what I just mentioned. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that can tie into, a couple, and Carol as well, feelings of incompetence. Wow. I'm very grateful for this theme because I hope what it's doing is allowing all of you to feel seen and feel connected, even though it's a hard place to connect. But you're not alone there. These are being felt by multiple people right now, with just within our own community. So, so much love and care for all of you in these hard places that you're feeling right now. Let's go ahead and jump into that right away as our first tap. So um, I'm trying to think of what broad term I want to offer to kind of capture everything. I'm reading back through them as I'm considering. An easy phrase to go for would be I'm not enough, right? I feel like there might be something that's a little bit more on the nose. So I'm going to take just a moment and try to come up with it. I want to put I'm not worthy. It's not coming to me. Maybe it'll come during the tap. I know there's a specific word that I'm wanting, but my brain is high. It's just not thinking it through right now. Oh, thank you for your words, Serena. Okay, Savannah, perfectionism, which is kind of, a different angle of the same thing. Paula having surgery. Thank you for that. You are not, then I, maybe as we told the messenger. Okay, I'm not there yet. Who I am is lacking. Lacking. Okay. Lacking is a solid word. Yep, it's not. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it because I want to sit here and take time to think about it. All right. All of those words are great that you came up with. If at any time I suggest a word and you're like, this one fits better, please replace it. Say that word instead of the word that I offer, because that's exactly what I would do in a session with you. And it is your brain offering something. You're saying, I'm looking for this target. And your brain's like, how about this spot? So definitely acknowledge that and go, absolutely, let's do that instead. Okay. Whew, let's go ahead and start tapping. As I consider all of my thoughts and feelings in all of the negative ways that I feel are so true about me at this time, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even if right now, as I think about all of these hard and heavy and negative definitions that I hold for myself, and that is what I am saying, I completely accept, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now this isn't making me feel any better, and I actually might be starting to feel a little bit worse as I accept these really sad and heavy and negative definitions of myself that I 100% feel are true. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. And we're going to tap it in kind of a negative way for a little bit. So just it if you can. If it's too much, you do you. Okay. Always trust what you feel. Well, if I'm accepting it, maybe it's right. Maybe it hurts because I want it to be different. And it's not. I have so much evidence to prove that these words are true about me. To prove that maybe this just is who I am. And that hurts. But maybe it hurts because I just don't want it to be true. You know, I hear that everybody has worth. Everybody, deserves love. Everybody. But maybe that's not true. That's a nice thought. That's not my experience. That's not what I feel. It's not what I see. So maybe the only way to stop feeling this way, to stop hurting because of the way I believe about myself, is to just accept this is who I am. And that's it. If you're feeling emotion with it, feel it, let it out. If you feel like crying, if it feels heavy, acknowledge that. It's okay. I'm not leaving you there, I promise. Even if there are parts of me that feel like this is right, that feel like this is relieving to admit and acknowledge. I hold space for a different way of thinking that I've ever had up to this point. To be surprised by a thought that I've never considered. Even though right now I don't know what that would be, I hold space for it. Why would I hold space for that? Didn't I just say, I just need to accept that this is who I am? I wonder. Of all the people that have ever lived, that are living now, that are going to live, how many people do I believe are the same as me? These ugly words that are just the truth. Could I look at other people who I feel are the same as me and make that conclusion? Yes. No. I don't know. Okay, well, what about my own timeline? If I can't think about doing that for other people, I know my life. Has this always been my truth? Was I born being this? Would I go back in time to my 5-year-old self and tell that little person, it's easier if you give up now because this is your truth. This is who you are. Ooh, how could that be? How could that be? But if I don't want to agree to that, why am I agreeing to it now? If it hurts me to think about going back to my younger self and inserting those beliefs then, but I'm defending them now, they feel like my biggest truth now, then something changed. Something happened. What happened? As I consider what happened, that shifted me into this category of such a heavy existence. I hold a place of compassion for myself. Because isn't it true that in order to feel completely useless, completely void of value or worth, when once there must have been some, I was used, something was taken. Maybe while these words feel true, that's just been my best way to define to myself that something of worth that used to be here is gone. That something that I valued isn't here. I lost it. Someone took it. I it got worn out bit by bit. However, it happened. Maybe it's not that I don't have value. It's that I have an empty place where I crave to get back that value. And that's why it hurts. That's why it's painful. It's not that I can't accept the truth that I don't have value. I am very aware of the things that I am not. I know I'm not the greatest athlete in the world or in the country, maybe even my neighborhood, maybe even my household. And I'm okay with that. I'm not the greatest mathematician. I'm not going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not going to author the best selling book in the history of mankind. That's fine. I don't feel hurt because I don't have those things. But I do hurt because I don't feel valued, loved, recognized, cared for. And I wonder, maybe this pain, maybe part of this pain is grief. I'm grieving the loss of something precious to me. I'm grieving the loss of some precious part of myself. And maybe I struggle to believe that I'll ever get it back. That would make a lot of sense about why this is so painful. This pain, this pain of who I am not, this pain of who I want to be. This pain of not knowing how to find it, how to get it, how to receive it, how to rebuild it. I wonder, could I? What if I could find it again? What if I could rebuild it? It wouldn't be the same, but that's okay. Because isn't it true that the same almost doesn't exist anyway? Because growth happens, change happens. So while it is possible that the version of what I want might be different than the version that I once had, it is also likely that the version that I find now fits me better because I am also not the same. I wonder, how do I do it? If it's even possible, which I'm not sure I believe yet, how would I even do it? Maybe I don't trust it. It's too scary, feels too vulnerable, it's risky. It's risky to even consider. Maybe I just don't believe it. I feel a stubborn truth. It's just not in the cards. Whether I feel a hesitation or like it's just not going to happen, I still hold space. I hold space firmly for that realization, for this perspective that I've never had before, that will surprise me when it comes. I hold space for that to happen because really, what I know I want is to have that piece of me back. It is a part of me. And I'm calling for it, just like it's calling for me. Otherwise, wouldn't it just feel like a missed opportunity? Wouldn't it just feel like something that, that's not who I am? Just like being the athlete or the mathematician or the cook or the author, or a missed opportunity of any experience. This doesn't feel like any of that. This is different. And I do know that. So again, I wonder, how do I try? How do I begin to try to find value that I don't feel I have, or find worth that I don't feel that I have? Where is that beginning point? My beginning point. Well, maybe my beginning point is clarity. Do I even know what I mean when I say someone who has value, someone who has worth, someone who's deserving? I don't feel like I'm deserving, but who is deserving and why? Well, if I'm determining that for myself and I'm seeing if it's something for me to reclaim, maybe I should have answers for that. So I give myself permission to be curious. But okay, what if I'm curious and I start to get these answers and I do fit some of it? It does seem that I have qualities that should be valued, that should be loved, that should be respected. What then? Well, then I would ask myself, does it feel safe to acknowledge those? If I have what I want so badly and I'm not receiving it, why? It would make sense for the why to be that the pain of not having it is somehow safer or better in some template in my subconscious brain than it is to receive what I want. Now, I may discover a lot. There might be a lot to that baggage. It may be a little vague and hard for me to define, but whether or not it's clear to me of why in my past I chose to not receive these parts of me that are so precious. I acknowledge, again, I'm in a different place now. That was a long time ago. And I have reached a point now where maybe it is safe. Maybe it is okay. And it's okay for me to explore that. It's okay for me to ask questions. It's okay for me to get clarity. And it's okay for me to take little teeny tiny bits of trust. I do believe that there's a reason for this pain. And maybe I now have found a way to give myself the tools I need to alleviate it, and to give myself the opportunity to receive what it is that I want so badly. These feelings, the feelings that I have, the feelings that are heavy, the feelings that I want, the feelings that are nice and lovely, my permission to be curious, my ability to be safe for me. And as I explore this possibility and hold space for these realizations, I deeply and completely accept myself. Go ahead and pause and take a breath. Good job. So that was more of an opening, right, than a resolution. Not to say that there aren't places where that will start to align with what you're looking towards. That was a structure of let's look towards what we want, right? There's a lot of energy that's easier to put towards what we don't want. Still, the same responses apply when we lay a foundation for something in tapping. So, if through that you were experiencing sighing, crying, waves of emotion, waves of temperature change, wanting to move your body, all of those are signs of your brain going on this journey with you and shifting with you, maybe allowing you to access things that have been blocked before because there wasn't even a possibility of something. So why should you even put yourself through that? If you think now about how you feel, about how your definition of self was at the beginning of that tap to where it is now, do you notice a difference? Does it feel more flexible? Does it feel more possible? Does it feel more? Can you connect with more of that desire within yourself for that to be different? All of those are positive signs that you reached somewhere in your brain, in your subconscious brain that said, oh, yeah, you're right. Let's not think that way anymore. Let's shift more to this way. So if you experience that, good job. Okay, we have enough time for one more category. And just reading through what you've written here. Shame is about being fundamentally flawed and fearing exposure. It's unbearable. Yeah. Mallory, I noticed myself feeling irritable and uncomfortable tapping on the same spot. Is that to be expected? It can be, yeah. For that, I would say change it up. So if you don't know the tapping spots, there's lots of diagrams. If you want to email me, I can help you with that. I have videos on it that can show you where they are. You don't have to stay in the same spot as I do. I do that because I don't want people to worry about, oh no, has Fable moved? Did I miss a spot? So that you're not paying as much attention to what's happening in your own body. But certainly feel fine to move around. And the irritation, I would say, is a sign of your body saying, can you do this somewhere else? And Savannah, oh, yay. Oh, yay. Good job. And Serena, taught to limit on our brightness. Anyone tries to bright diminish others. Yep. And that can be definitely a reason why we put tampers on ourselves, why we say these horrible things and feel these horrible things, because you're right. That is something that at least I can agree with. I was taught, and I never wanted to hurt anybody else. So if I had to choose between me, feeling my happiest and brightest self, but hurting other people, or like tampering that down and not hurting other people, but hurting myself, I always chose hurting myself. And that's not a great template to have in your subconscious brain, because it's a really unfair way to define your greatness. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because I want to be able to tap a little bit more. And Tanya, good. Feeling like an opening. Beautiful. Awesome. Alrighty, let's go ahead and I know surgery is mentioned, insomnia. Let's do a little bit more body focused, but I'll show you how you can still do it an emotional base. If you still feel like you want to continue tapping in that way. I just am scanning through to see. Okay. All right. Oops, kick over my water bottle. So as you consider, let's go ahead and tap. I'll tap here just as an alternate way, an alternate place to tap. There are two spots on the collarbone. If you feel the edges of your collarbone and then just drop like kind of right in this area, I cover both with one hand, and just tap over. It's okay if you cover more than the area where you're tapping, as long as you've got that spot under there. As you consider your physical body, if there's not something specific to physical body, you can certainly consider something emotional or mental that you feel in your physical body. Oh, I've got so much on my brain. It's just, it's so cramped in here. Okay, then that's what you can focus on to affect that overthinking that you have going on in your brain. Or, I've got so much grief. I feel like my chest is caving in. Okay, then that's where you can express that through this tap, is I feel the grief here in my body. Okay. Let's go ahead and gather what focus you want to do, focusing on what you can release for your physical body. As I consider my physical form, this body that I have, this body that houses me, everything that I am, even if I extend out beyond this physical form, this is a house for me. And this body tells me things. Some things I really enjoy. Some things are harder to experience. And whether or not right now I am focusing on something unhappy to release or something wonderful to receive, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept this body. I accept it because I have to. It's the only one I've got. But also, right now, I choose to accept it and acknowledge it in all of the ways that I appreciate it. Even if right now, there are definitely some things that are hard and I don't appreciate them. Right now, I choose to acknowledge what I do appreciate and what is working for me. Because isn't it true even though not everything's perfect, things are more right than they are wrong in this body. Well, I wonder, how could I say that? How could I assess that? What do I mean by that? Well, that's easy enough to check in on. I wonder, how is my cardiovascular system, my heart, all of my blood vessels, my lungs, all of my blood, all of those little cells that I've got that do so many things that I don't remember them all. I don't even remember all the categories. I've got immune cells, I have blood cells, I have different fluids in my body that do different things. Wow, I'm complex. What about my digestive system? I eat something and it turns into me. What? My body breaks it down into like the most basic elements of what that food is. And then I use it to make cells for myself. That's wild. That's so cool. I've got all these little amazing chemists running around doing beautiful things. That's working the way that it's working. My muscles, my bones, my nervous system. What about my sensory organs? I can see. Can I hear? Do I have the sensation of touch? Can I smell things? Do I taste things? All of those have their own complexity as well. That's a lot. And all of that's inside of this body. Are you kidding me? And it's all working together. That's amazing. But there is this one part, I do have some struggles. Even though, as I consider my physical body, I know that I have struggles and I don't like them. I don't want them. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay that I have struggles. It's okay that not everything is perfect. It's okay that I have feelings about that. I don't like it. Of course, I don't like it. I would be concerned about me if I liked the fact that this is not where I want it. So I give myself permission to be grateful for my body and be irritated at it at the same time. Maybe it's okay for my emotions and my thoughts, my experiences surrounding my relationship with my body to be as complex as how my body works. That makes sense, actually. It's okay if there's a lot of layers to how I feel in this body, how I feel about this body, and all of the thoughts and feelings I have to this body. So I release any judgment, any shame, any other negative feeling I've had at myself because of my frustration with my body. I want my body to work. That makes sense. I want my body to feel good. That also makes sense. When my body isn't working or it isn't feeling good, that affects me in a negative way. And that also makes sense. I wonder, what choices do I have in this scenario? Where is my empowerment? What are ways that I can feel better if it's inevitable that this is my body and this body will have a range of experiences? I wonder, what are my expectations of my body? Do I expect it to run perfectly all the time, no matter what? And if I have that expectation, am I offering all of the support that it would need for that? Do I give it perfect sleep, perfect food, perfect exercise, perfect rest, perfect rejuvenation, perfect experiences? Mm. Hmm. Ooh. Maybe instead of trying to look at it as reaching for something that I don't have in terms of how my body is, or how I'm supporting that, or how I'm not supporting that to happen. What if instead I just check in with my body like I would a friend, and I look for a way to befriend my body? And maybe that is something physical. Maybe it is adjusting a food choice or an activity, but maybe also it's an emotion. Maybe I just express more gratitude to my body than I do right now. Maybe I just listen. And instead of being upset or panicked or angry about having pain in my body, I just empathize with my body and say, yeah, that does hurt. I know. I don't want that either. I don't want either of us to have this right now. This is a bummer. Maybe I find ways to treat my body, little things to feel really good. And just because I want to do it, because I want to offer friendship, to my body? Well, friendship with my body. That sounds way more fun. My body. This relationship with my body. This imperfect, problem-ridden, but beautiful, wonderful relationship with my body. And as I explore this different perspective of how I can approach supporting myself by supporting this body that houses me, I allow myself to let it be as fun and fulfilling as it possibly could. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, go ahead and stop tapping and take a breath. Nicely done. I'll just check in real fast. I know we're just barely over time right now, but I want to finish closing in our normal way. Notice for just a second, how do you feel? How does that thing that you focused on within your body feel now compared to when we first started tapping? How do you feel about body issues? Is it a little bit different? Do you feel a little bit more positive? Do you feel a little bit more relief? Does it feel more exciting to have a body? Sometimes it's a bit of a drag, depending on the size of the issue you're dealing with. Any amount of shift that you're feeling is a positive sign from your body, from your subconscious mind saying, oh, I like where this is going. Let's maybe make some neuron connections to that and start shifting that. And that will continue to develop even though you're no longer tapping on it. So congratulations with that. I am going to check. I saw a few messages come in just to make sure before I say goodbye. Oh, Carol, I love what you put here. I'm going to read it out loud for everyone. Even if something special doesn't happen, that does not mean that things aren't okay and that I should just be okay with who I am. Nothing more needs to happen to prove that is so. And I would add to that, Carol, maybe you are the special thing. And that the things happening to you feel normal because all of it's special because you're special. And that may not feel safe to receive right now. So just maybe, put it nearby, however that may land. But I would wager that's pretty close to the truth. When something is special, everything that it experiences is on that level, right? So maybe everything feeling more usual is even that confirmation of you being special. Showing my body more gratitude. Awesome. Yay. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here with me this week. I'm so glad that we got to tap together. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I'll be thinking about you. If you have any questions on anything, please feel free to email me. I will post a video on Friday, and I hope that I get to see you next Tuesday. Take care. Love you so much, and I'll see you soon.